United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Article 298. Optional exceptions to applicability of Section 2, 1. When signing, ratifying or acceding to this convention, or at any time thereafter, a state may, without prejudice to the obligations arising under Section 1, declare in writing that it does not accept any one or more of the procedures provided for in Section 2 with respect to one or more of the following categories of disputes. A. Disputes concerning the interpretation or application of Articles 15, 74, and 83 relating to sea boundary delimitations, or those involving historic bays or titles, provided that a state having made such a declaration shall, when such a dispute arises subsequent to the entry into force of this convention, and where no agreement within a reasonable period of time is reached in negotiations between the parties, at the request of any party to the dispute, accept submission of the matter to conciliation under Annex V, Section 2, and provided further that any dispute that necessarily involves the concurrent consideration of any unsettled dispute concerning sovereignty, or other rights, over continental or insular land territory, shall be excluded from such submission. 2. After the Conciliation Commission has presented its report, which shall state the reasons on which it is based, the parties shall negotiate an agreement on the basis of that report. If these negotiations do not result in an agreement, the parties shall, by mutual consent, submit the question to one of the procedures provided for in Section 2, unless the parties otherwise agree. 3. This subparagraph does not apply to any sea boundary dispute finally settled by an arrangement between the parties, or to any such dispute which is to be settled in accordance with a bilateral or multilateral agreement binding upon those parties. B. Disputes concerning military activities, including military activities by government vessels and aircraft engaged in non-commercial service, and disputes concerning law enforcement activities in regard to the exercise of sovereign rights, or jurisdiction excluded from the jurisdiction of a court or tribunal under Article 297, paragraph 2 or 3. C. Disputes in respect of which the Security Council of the United Nations is exercising the functions assigned to it by the Charter of the United Nations, unless the Security Council decides to remove the matter from its agenda or calls upon the parties to settle it by the means provided for in this convention. 2. A state party which has made a declaration under paragraph the 1st of May at any time withdraw it, or agree to submit a dispute excluded by such declaration to any procedure specified in this convention. 3. A state party which has made a declaration under paragraph 1 shall not be entitled to submit any dispute falling within the accepted category of disputes to any procedure in this convention as against another state party, without the consent of that party. 4. If one of the state's parties has made a declaration under paragraph 1a, any other state party may submit any dispute falling within an accepted category against the declarant party to the procedure specified in such declaration. 5. A new declaration, or the withdrawal of a declaration, does not in any way affect proceedings pending before a court or tribunal in accordance with this article, unless the parties otherwise agree. 6. Declarations and notices of withdrawal of declarations under this article shall be deposited with the Secretary-General of the United Nations, who shall transmit copies thereof to the states parties.